Final home game of the season for Monmouth, and the Hawks will look to play spoiler today against top 10 Villanova. College football coming up right now. A very good afternoon. We are inside the broadcast location at Kessler Stadium with the czar, the playbook, Emory Hunt. I'm Matt Harmon. Good to be talking football from the Jersey Shore. Emory, time of the year, focus is right there, playoff-wise, for a team like Villanova. A little bit of a season of what-ifs for a team like Monmouth.
Well, for Villanova, you want to avoid the upset like we saw a couple of weeks ago versus Maine. If you're Monmouth, you have a great chance to make a statement here against one of the best teams in all of FCS football.
Usually at this point, we lead into players of the game. I love what our crew did today. We're going to talk sides of the football. We've got the #1 defense in the CAA, Villanova. This is old-fashioned. Win with defense. What do they say? Defense wins championships.
It really does. And when you're talking about one of the best defenses in the FCS, you're talking about a team that has 6 graduate players on that side of the football. So what does that mean? Communication is at an all-time high. They understand assignment. They're always aligned, and they execute at a very high level. When you have that going on for you on the back end, that's why you're #1.
It doesn't hurt that they've got 2 really good linebackers amongst their 3.
19 TFLs that's playing on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. They do a great job of making those individual tackles in space. So how the defense goes, it will be determined on whether or not these 2 guys do their thing today.
Now, on the flip side, Monmouth does boast a high-powered offense. It's #1 in the CAA.
Something has to give. You have the best defense versus the best offense, and we know Monmouth can put the ball in the paint from anywhere on the field with any one of 3 wide receivers and the depth that they have in the backfield. We talk about TJ Spate, who can do it all, Josh Derry, Gavin Nelson, Trey Neal, and Sony Into in the backfield, along with Rodney Nelson. This team can score and score in bunches. That's why they have a chance today.
37.3 points per game, about 469 yards per game. That combination today, really important.
#1 defense versus the #1 quarterback in FCS football, and Derek Robertson, and what he has done so far this season for Monmouth has been special.
We will take a timeout here. We will come back. It's senior day here at Monmouth. We'll have plenty of that to celebrate as we get set for a noon kickoff here in West Long Branch. Both head coaches extremely familiar with their respective programs. Kevin Callahan, the only head coach that Monmouth has known on your left. Mark Ferrante, the 8th-year head coach. That's a little misleading because he was an assistant with Villanova from 1987 to 2016 since taking over the program. Emory, I know you amongst not many. You are at the top of the list, my friend, of FCS football knowledge. Those are 2 of the real good guys in college football.
And I've had the pleasure of sitting with both, I want to say around 2015, just to sit down and go through the program with these guys and just love the passion that they share and show for each one of their respective programs. Coach Ferrante took me all throughout the Villanova process, and also Coach Talley was still sitting in there, had an office, and was showing me around as well. So the pride amongst both of these coaches is great to see, is what's good about college football.
Makai Green, TJ Spate, back deep for Monmouth, who will receive the opening kickoff. They will await number 45, Ethan Getman, the player to get it started. He is a lefty kicker for Villanova. A windy day here at the Shore. This one will go over the top of Spade's head, out of the back of the end zone, and come out for a touchback. If you watched our open, here's your theme. Number one offense versus number one defense. Number one quarterback in FCS football right there. Derek Robertson, who has thrown Emory for 25 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions.
It's a decision-making that has been impressive to me all season long because he does a great job of going to the right area of the field, throwing with velocity, throwing with the timing, the touch, the anticipation. All of that is why he's the best QB in the FCS.
He will start with Rodney Nelson in the backfield. Nelson, the 5'8", 195-pound sophomore. Right away, ball in the hands of TJ Spate, one of the playmakers for Monmouth. He will go in the wrong direction, lose 5. Great interior pressure right off the jump. Capri Martin, number 93, as you look at that starting defense for Villanova, the top defense in the CAA.
And that was a big reason why. We talked about the graduate experience, although Capri Martin is a sophomore, but just the eye discipline to have up front is why he was able to make that play.
Shane Hartzell, Richie Kimmel, Brendan Bell, an outstanding group of linebackers, a 3-3-5 defensive formation for Villanova. Rodney Nelson, good burst of speed, gets back what was lost and a couple of more. A third down and manageable here for Monmouth in the first minute of the first quarter.
Now keep in mind the wind is whipping in Monmouth's face right now, so the passing game is going to be a little bit of a challenge. That's why you see them lean more on their run game. So how they throw the football and where they throw the football will be key on this opening series.
Took a look at the Monmouth starting lineup as well. A banged-up offensive line. Ed Gatling out, Matt Fries out. There is your win whipping around a little bit across the field. Robertson here on a 3rd and 7. 4 wide receivers to his left, 1 back to the right. Hangs in the pocket, throws over the middle, has a man. It's Josh Derry who will make the catch and will have a Monmouth first down.
And you saw the challenge right there. Even though it was the right decision, great read, great throw, it was a little bit behind the receiver. Why? Because, again, you're throwing into a very stiff and gusty wind. But good job right there by Derry, able to haul that football in for a first down.
48th catch of the season for Josh Derry. 1 better than TJ Spate. On now 1st and 10. Robertson hanging, looking, wanting Spate. Outruns the coverage and has it down inside the 10, close to the 5.
Throw everything I said about the stiff wind out the window because he threw it directly on a rope 40 yards down the field. Perfectly thrown pass for TJ Spate, who got past the secondary for a nice over route. Just a great throw, great protection by that offensive line for Monmouth. Just a nice rainbow for Robertson.
Robertson said, I can throw it that far, Emory. Don't worry about the win. Great way to start the football game for the Hawks. 2.5 minutes in, Monmouth has it 1st and goal from around the 8-yard line. Spade in motion. Goes back the other way. Soneento territory. He'll push the pile forward for 6. Ento, 21 rushing touchdowns on the season.
This is where Villanova likes to show its strength, tightening up inside the red zone, inside the green zone area, which is from the 10-yard line going in. This defensive line does not relent up front. They do a great job of maintaining the line of scrimmage, and in some cases, they reset it. So it's going to be interesting to see this battle, this trench warfare battle we're going to get at the line of scrimmage today between these two teams.
2nd and goal from the 6. Ento, again, doesn't usually go down on first contact, struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, as good as Villanova is defensively, as good as Monmouth is offensively, in these goal line situations, the Hawks sometimes predictable. It's give it to Sone, and he usually does the job. Villanova might not be the team to do that against.
Right, because we know Ento has, over 20 touchdowns rushing on the ground. Here is where Monmouth is going to have to prove that they can win these one-on-one battles in the passing game inside this green zone area.
Corners for Villanova, outstanding on the edge. Neary in motion. Robertson looked his direction. Going to tuck it and run. Throw for Ento into the end zone. Touchdown.
It's a heck of a job right there by Robinson, climbing the pocket, showing that he was about to take off and run. He kind of influenced that defensive back out there to say, hey, I got to go get the quarterback. And he kept his eyes downfield and just flipped it over to Sonny Into, who didn't get into the end zone running the football, but as a pass receiver this time.
Great opening drive for the Hawks. Sonny Into usually does it on the ground. That one a receiving score. Michael Cowton on for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is no good. Pushed it a little bit to the left, maybe trying to overcompensate for the wind a little bit. This is different territory for Sonny Into.
And this is a great job by Robinson, man, just using his legs, climbing the pocket, knowing where he is on the field, but understanding where his guy is, Sonny Into, out there in the low flat for the touchdown.
That is just the third reception of the year for Into. His first touchdown of that variety. What a great pickup he has been for Monmouth since coming a year ago. It's his 36th touchdown overall. 7 plays, 75 yards. Took up 4:05 off the clock. I don't know that you draw it up much better than you just did for Monmouth.
Especially against the #1 defense in the FCS. I mean, you couldn't have scripted that better. They had the run game going a little bit. Then you saw the intermediate passing game. They converted a third down. Then you saw the deep passing game. So you got a little bit of everything on that drive for Monmouth. Impressive way to start the game.
Jabril Mace back deep for Villanova, who will get their hands on the football first time today. Vincenzo Rea set to kick off into the wind. He'll pooch it. Fair catch called for and made by Ethan Potter coming up. Potter starting safety for Villanova. Now the Wildcat offense, which, well, you'd think in some ways they're waiting for their moment because it's been how good the defense has been all year. At some point, yes, they have made plays, but this is a team with aspirations much greater than just winning today. They're thinking, how deep can we go in the FCS playoffs? You know this offense will be called on to make big plays. Today might be that opportunity to get rolling.
You kind of want to see what Connor Watkins can do throwing the football against his secondary. I think that's where some of the opportunities lie for this Wildcat offense.
An offense that is number 13 in the CAA, 22.4 points per game. Quick throw to the outside. Catch is made. And coming forward to the 30-yard line is the fifth-year wide receiver, Devin Smith.
Now, ever since I've talked to Coach Ferrante and what I've known about this program, their offensive line has always been stout, phenomenal, and well-built. This is a team I think can go deep into the postseason or go into an FBS stadium and compete and win a game. We saw them do that multiple times over the course of his tenure here at Villanova.
An offense that per game, 322 yards. Two backs in the backfield. Zone read. It will be Watkins to take it to the 34-yard line where he is grabbed and dragged down. He was just helped up there by Kyle Fay, who is back in the starting lineup today. A late addition into that offensive lineman for Villanova. Redshirt freshman, 6'6", 300 pounds. He starts at the right tackle spot.
They always are great up front, which is why they've always been able to run the football, just like you've seen right there, even with the quarterback.
3rd and 3. Monmouth bringing pressure. Watkins hangs in the pocket. Catch is made by Jalen Sanchez, who will have the first down. Hawks brought the house. Sanchez posted himself right where the linebacker used to be.
Well, that's what you want to see from Connor Watkins, your graduate-level quarterback, understanding where his hots are, understanding where to go with the football. Easy execution right there for Villanova.
Wildcats are into Monmouth territory on the Hawks' 49-yard line. Watkins from the shotgun. Single back to his left. Quick throw, hauled in by Chris Colby. Part of the second group of wide receivers. Both teams starting pretty efficient offensively. Watkins coming into today, 117 for 229, 1,384 yards, has thrown 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Rather crisp offensive attack right now for Villanova. I love what I'm seeing from the Wildcats because everyone is getting the touch. They're peppering the targets, working themselves from east side to west side in both their passing game and also running downhill.
At the Monmouth 33. First quarter flying by. To the outside. Catch is made in space by Lucas Kopecki. Kopecki, the 6'3", 200-pound grad student.
Seeing Villanova cycle in some guys too, so they're keeping fresh, they're being efficient, and they're just working their offense. This is elite level offensive efficiency that we're seeing right here from the Wildcats. Again, because you're able to get a wave of new guys in, but you're making sure they stay fresh and you're also staying efficient as well.
Kopecki, great story. 4 years as a lacrosse player. His first year in the college football ranks. 5 wide receiver set, 4 left. That's the open side of the field. Bubble screen is set up. Catch is made. Moving forward in space is Jabril Mace. Trying to get to the edge. He did. A flag was thrown. This is likely coming back.
They got a hold on the perimeter. Too good of a block by the receiver. I was just about to say they did a great job of sealing that edge. Maybe a little bit too well.
Holding. Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's Daniel Lopez, the wide receiver, 6'2", 200. Again, they got some size on the perimeter, which kind of gives you that ability to run outside because they're so physical. Good job. Look at it. Everybody's lined up on a DB. Kind of brought him to the ground. I thought that was maybe a little bit of a pancake, but a good sell job by the defensive back.
Henry Wimberg, who you just heard, is our referee today. Opening drive for Villanova after Monmouth went down the field and scored but missed the extra point. 6-0 Hawks. Pressure again. Delayed draw up the middle. David Abbott, the freshman running back, 220 pounds.
I love that play call because, again, when you get pressure like that, blitz pressure, you either want to throw right at the blitz where the guy just came from or run right at it because no one is really paying too much attention to their gap discipline because they're all so aggressive trying to get back there to the QB. Great play call and timing by Villanova.
Isaiah Ragland listed as the starter. Abbott has had more carries. He's played in a couple more games. Leads the team with 7 rushing touchdowns. He'll stay in here on 2nd and 5. Zone read. Taken down was Watkins. Maybe second guessing that he didn't hand it off to Abbott.
One guy that's going to be outstanding for Monmouth, we'll call his name all day, is Sam Corpoy, the linebacker. He's built like a safety. He's long, he's athletic. He's always going to be around the football, so get used to hearing his name called a lot today.
He's in your picture right there. Where's number 35? Monmouth in the all blues today with the silver helmet. Villanova, the blue helmet, the white jersey, and the light blue pants. 3rd and 5, 6 to go in the first quarter. Maybe 4-down territory here for the Wildcats. See what they do out of a 4 wide receiver set. Throw to the flat. Catch made. See if the second effort from Abbott was able to get the first down. Was covered and bumped by Charlie Sasso.
It's a good job right there by David Abbott. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from the freshman, 6 feet, 220. You see right there, using his size to absorb that hit, but also have the wherewithal to know where the sticks are to reach that football out there and get the first down for Villanova.
Played at Winston Churchill High School down in Potomac, Maryland. 4th and a yard. Wildcats going to line up to go for it. Tight end H-back off to the right side of the formation. Here's the give, the spin forward for Abbott. It'll be a first down and then some, and a 1st and goal to go for Villanova.
Good body lean, good functional strength and power, runs behind his pads, and just showed you right there all of those attributes to get that first down for the Wildcats. Keeping their offense on the field. You're right, this is a fast-moving first quarter. We're already under 5 minutes and only have had 2 possessions.
Ball at the 7 Wildcats will reset themselves. Clayton, the tight end. James Weldy, the H-back. Abbott, again, slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Gets down inside the 5. Looks like they will mark him down at the 2.
Now you see Monmouth sending in a wave of defenders trying to stay fresh. Surprised Villanova didn't go tempo there, try to catch Monmouth rushing to get those subs in, but starting to see how the tempo and the pace from both teams have adjusted how these coaches are attacking, sending in substitutions.
Wide receiver is Jalen Sanchez. Out to the right side of the formation. Interesting wrinkle here. 3 backs in the backfield with Watkins. Quarterback Keat jumping over the top of the pile and taken down. Sasso, the first man there. Ryan Moran, one of the team captains, came in to clean it up.
I know Watkins, like, he kind of had that going differently in his head when he jumped. He thought he was going to get in there. It fell about a yard short, but good job by Monmouth just staying assignment sound and just allowing themselves to scrape across and get the stop. We probably won't see Watkins jump again because that one almost ended terribly for him.
Chris King, number 45, a big part of that play. Grabbed the leg of Watkins so he couldn't extend out. 3rd and goal from the 2. 2-back set. They'll give it off the right side. Will not get into the end zone. Struggled to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Abbott again on the carry.
There's no hesitation on Villanova's side of things. They're keeping their offense out there on the field. And we talked about the #1 defense in Villanova coming into this ball game. But, man, you look at how Monmouth has really bowed up here in this red zone situation, green zone situation, and stopped the run 3 plays in a row.
Got to do it one more time. If you're among those cheering on the Hawks, it would set an early message in this game. Tight formation for Villanova. Single receiver left. Watkins wanting to throw. Trying to get to the goal line. Did he get in? He did, right at the last second. A great second effort from the veteran Connor Watkins.
It's a foot race to the pylon, and he lowered his shoulder to have just enough strength and power to cross the goal line there for a touchdown. You're going to see right here, looking to throw. Monmouth had it blanketed across the board. Just leaves one-on-one for Connor Watkins, and he went toe-to-toe with a linebacker and Ryan Moran and won that battle. It's a great drive by Villanova.
Monmouth drive took about 4 minutes. This Villanova drive more like
4 weeks.
8, yeah. Ethan Getman on for the extra point. Snap good. Hold good. Kick good. 14 plays, 73 yards, 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Connor Watkins has given Villanova the lead. We told you in the open we would have some of the senior day pregame festivities, and here some of them are. Those that are saying goodbye to the Monmouth football program honored before the game. A sad but celebratory day. Emery, is that the best way to say these days?
Yeah, because again, it's the place you spent, I would say 4 to 5 years, but in this era, 4 to 5 months.
Put a little star next
You're right,
to that
exactly.
in today's world.
But you spend so much time here. It's not just about the teammates, but it's about the instructors, the professors, the student body. It's a part of your life that you'll forever cherish and forever draw back from.
Getman to kick it off. This is going to be looked at by Spate out of the end zone. Second consecutive touchback. And Monmouth will get their second possession. Hawks went down the field, their opening drive, put 6 up on the board. Villanova responds with a long drive of their own. The difference right now, a made extra point, 7-6 Wildcats. This will be Frankie Savino who will take the snap for Monmouth. Off on the left side.
That's the big
We'll check it. That is not Savino, who is listed as the backup. Zach Hijos is in at quarterback. That threw everybody for a little wrinkle right there.
Second big stop for Ben Wobodo, the defensive tackle number 98. He's been stellar so far today defensively.
Robertson back in. Flag thrown. Over the middle, catch intended for Gavin Nelson is dropped.
Illegal formation here. Or offside.
Offside.
Wow.
Offside. Defense, number 97. 5 penalty, second down.
Makai Green will come in at running back. A stable of backs that includes Green, Nelson, and Ento. Monmouth with the +5. 2nd and 4. Robertson, quick throw to the right. Old school hook and ladder setup. It's Green who gets the benefit of it, and he will get Monmouth the first down.
So far in this drive, we've seen a quarterback come in just to run QB power heels that we hadn't seen all season, and we just saw a hook and lateral. So they're trying to get that defense guessing for Villanova. A little bit too early for that.
We'll have to come up with a new name for that, because the hook and ladder means you run down the field and hook.
Exactly.
There was no real hook there. It was more of a step. Step and ladder.
All right.
Robertson on first down, gives to Ento, who is known for his goal line exploits, but has shown at different times over his couple of years here breakaway speed, tackled after a 4-yard gain.
I will say this, though. I love how Coach Gallo, the offensive coordinator for Monmouth, has his playbook consistently open. All options are on the table, especially here in this final home game for the Hawks.
You always want to win when you play, but in a game like today, Monmouth playing with seemingly no pressure.
0.
2nd and 6. Ento, left side, hit at the line, falls forward for 2. That will likely take us to the end of a fast-moving first quarter. And an entertaining one. Teams trading possessions, trading touchdowns. This is just the 3rd possession of the entire game, and Monmouth will continue it when we continue our broadcast here. First quarter in the books, second quarter around the corner. Stick around. Only about 90 minutes between these two campuses. That might be even with a little bit of traffic. You would think the all-time series might be more than just 2 games going into this one. Monmouth has won both, a historic win back in 2011. Last time these teams played also out in PA. Hawks took that one 49-42. Villanova trying to return the favor in their first ever trip to West Long Branch.
You must drive slow 90 minutes.
3rd and 4. I drive safe, Emery. I drive safe. Catch made by Derry at midfield. He will have a first down.
I'm up near New York City. It takes me 90 minutes to to get to Villanova.
Let's get the make and model on that vehicle. We'll have Emery pulled over at the
Got to catch me first. I'm like the gingerbread man.
first opportunity. Monmouth offense has looked sharp so far today. Robertson keeping him moving. New set of downs to work with in Wildcat territory. Derry to the left. Give is up the middle. It's Green. Breaks a tackle, gets to the sideline. This is where Makai Green is so good in space. He will pick up about 17.
Man, that was such a good run just from a technical standpoint. And I try to explain this to folks all the time. When you have the football, you control the angles. Watch how he sets up this defender here. Little stutter step kind of slowed him down, but he just kept running. When you're able to do that because you have the football, you can dictate the terms and make things difficult for the opposing team. Just a little hesitation right there caused him to become flat-footed and just was able to scoot around the corner and get down the sideline.
What was that sound effect, by the way? We need that in like old school Batman TV format when it used to come across the screen. Kapow!
All right, exactly. Bang, boom. Like a lot, we just talked over.
We just gave something for our production crew to work on for next year.
Right. And we just probably talked over half the audience because they don't know what Batman we're talking about. There's been like 17 different iterations of Batman since the one we're talking about.
Go old school.
The out-of-shape Batman, the Adam West Batman.
Player injured for Villanova, Shane Hartzell, the outstanding linebacker, able to walk off under his own power. That's a good sign. This is the final home game for Monmouth this season. They will wrap next week at Stony Brook. Villanova has an interesting task next week. They're home to square off against Delaware, who is not eligible this year for an FCS playoff berth. But, man, what a statement win it would be for the Wildcats heading in to seeding weekend.
Right, because that is essentially a Conference USA opponent they're facing next weekend.
Reverse pass set up. Robertson, throwback, has Derry. Open down the left sideline, inside the 20, inside the 10, to the 5. Josh Derry doing it all by himself and scoring.
Fantastic job right there by Josh Derry, doing an excellent job running down the sideline, just staying in bounds and using his blockers rather well. But the play design and influence was on point because usually when you have that double reverse flea flicker pass, you want to take the deep shot down the field, and the defense knows that, so everyone's eyes went down the field. They forgot about Josh Derry just waiting there after he did his part of the deal, and no one was out there but just him in open grass, and you saw him navigate his way, not take 90 minutes to get past Villanova and get into the end zone.
You said open playbook. How about a whole new section and a new page in that play? And give a lot of credit. He was in your picture at the last second. Jack Neary, the tight end, was blocking all the way down the field. Now, this is always controversial, right? You miss an extra point early. Are you chasing the point for the rest of the game? Monmouth will try and get it back right away. A throwback. Neal wanting to pass, avoids one tackle, trying to keep the play alive. He does a little bit, but cannot elude the grasp of Villanova.
He was trying to get back in the good graces, throw it back to Robertson, who's standing there wide open. But we'll see on the other side if Villanova has an answer for Monmouth.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer in all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
I'm the director of the Cancer Center, designated by the National Cancer Institute.
We are here to make an important distinction.
There are cancer centers.
And there are NCI-designated cancer centers.
Recognized for world-class research
and positive impact on their communities.
No single person is going to cure cancer.
It'll take a team effort.
That's what an NCI-designated cancer center is all about. In New Jersey, there's only one, Rutgers Cancer Institute in New Jersey, together with RWJ Barnabas Health.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Today's broadcast of the Monmouth Hawks, powered by Monmouth Medical Center, an RWJ Barnabas Health facility and recognized leader in patient safety and clinical quality. For more information about services close to you, visit rwjbh.org/Monmouth. RWJ Barnabas Health, a proud part of Monmouth University Athletics. Back here with the Czar, Emery Hunt. Monmouth a 7-play, 75-yard drive. The Hawks have missed, though, 2 PATs. One an old-fashioned conventional attempt. That last one, a wide receiver pass chance from Trey Neal. That failed. Josh Derry, the recipient of the touchdown. Both Monmouth's top guys, Spate and Derry, have had an impact in this game. Derry has been targeted 4 times, and he has caught all 4. Rhea able to send this one out of the back of the end zone. What an advantage for teams as you look at it, as we are going left to right. A heavy swing in wind.
I will say this, though, and I brought this up the last time I did a game here at Monmouth. No matter the wind, the stiffness of it, or the velocity of the gust, that nest that sits atop that scoreboard does not move.
No, it's there. See if we can get a shot of that at some point. There it is.
That thing has been there for years. Through hurricanes, through gusts of wind, it does not. It is standing strong. Impressive. We cover it all. Like there's never.
After play, personal foul, blindside block, receiving team, number 40. Will be half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, that turns out to be a pretty big penalty against Villanova. Jason Hall, the linebacker, a blindside block on a kickoff that was not even going to be returned.
That's a pretty. You have to really get that block early because that ball did not touch the field of play.
Here comes Connor Watkins back on. His first drive, darn near perfect. Numbers-wise, it was 6 of 6 for 60 yards. And he finished it off with a rushing touchdown. 1st and 10, ball back at the 13. Isaiah Ragland into the game. He'll get the carry off the left side. Of the 2 running backs, Ragland a little shorter at 5'9". Abbott listed at 6 feet, both in the 215, 220 range.
So that tells you both guys are well equipped to run inside, and so you don't lose much from your inside run game when either guy is in the lineup.
Second and 8. Zone read. Watkins going to the right. Picks up only a yard. We did speak earlier about Abbott coming in as the team's leading ground gainer. It goes Abbott, Ragland, Watkins in that order. Before the day started, 699, 448, 292 for the quarterback Watkins.
And they're efficient in their run game. They're not explosive, although they can be, but they do a good job of getting everybody involved, which kind of makes it tough to defend.
More about the collective for Villanova
exactly.
Offensively. Both backs will set themselves as slot receivers. Watkins steps up in the pocket, gonna tuck it and run. A flag thrown in the backfield. That's usually an indication of a hold.
Which would be so unnecessary because it was so behind the play.
Holding. Offense, number 75. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Stephon Voltaire, the junior left tackle, gets tagged with that penalty. He's matched up here on Miles Mitchell. It's that left hand, right?
It got on to him pretty quickly, too, and you can't let that be your initial move. Your first initial point of contact got to be inside the breastplate of the defender. Once you start reaching outside, it's a wrap. That's a lose-lose situation for you.
One penalty to start Villanova back. A second one to push it back to what will be 3rd and about 16, it looks like. It's a half the distance penalty. Inside the 10, they'll spot it at the 8.
Then a go-go offense formation.
Watkins rolling. Didn't have anything, and that was the plan. Keep the play alive as long as you can. If you don't have it, throw it into the sideline. Villanova will have to punt it away.
Never been a big fan of any type of play rolling or even a run play going to the short side of the field. You give yourself no room for error or no chance at of a play breaking free because everyone's already pinned to the sideline. Becomes an extra defender for the defense.
Getman on to punt. He'll have to do it into the wind. Hawks bringing some pressure. Ball will bounce. Everybody gets away from it. Getman did a good job of trying to get a penalty.
You saw that, right?
The referee was right there, kind of looked at him for a second and then said, no flag.
Listen, I don't know if you saw the game I did last week, 2 weeks ago at Norfolk State, Morgan State, where the punter got run into, got the flag, was on the ground like he died, looked at the ref, got up, tried to run and go, because they was returning the punt for a touchdown, tries to go make the tackle, gets blown up, then goes back to the spot where he laid down and laid back down.
Oh, went back.
Went back and laid down. Fascinating display of acting skills.
Don't leave the scene of the crime.
Exactly.
Lesson learned. 1st and 10 from the Villanova 48. Robertson has it come back off a deflection at the line.
That was an old school swat back in the face, man. Like, that was with authority.
Chuck Smith, number 97. See if it's his hand that comes up.
It's number 98 again, though.
That's Woboto.
We've called his name often so far in this game. He's been impressive.
Woboto, the 6'3", 295-pound senior, anchors the middle of that three-man front. 2nd and 10. Robertson to throw, dumps it down over the middle for Nelson, who will get about half of what's needed. You know, in a lot of ways, Emery, if you factor in Monmouth has the wind here in the second quarter, this is a big possession because you could go up 2 scores.
Right. This is when you want to push the ball vertically.
Robertson has time. Throwing sideline. That's a little bit of that verticality that you talk about. Trey Neal makes his first catch of the day.
That was a great timing route. It's a nice bench route by the receiver. Ran 12 yards and cut it out. The ball was right there when he made his cut. Hit him right in the numbers as soon as he turned around.
New set of downs for Monmouth at the Nova 25. Robertson dumped down again. High load Marcus Middleton, the second tight end. Player down for Monmouth looks to be an offensive lineman.
It's number 62.
That's JT Cornelius, who has been the anchor in what has been a year of flux for Monmouth offensively in that front five. He's going to have to come out and get checked on.
There's a lot of similarities between both Coach Ferrante and Coach Callahan and how they built their programs, and it's always inside out. Because every time we're talking about Monmouth, we're talking about their offensive line. Same with Villanova, offensive line, defensive line. You build inside out, which helps you sustain the level of success that they've had.
Matt Fries, who was the starter at the beginning of the year, has been out for several games with injury, will take that left tackle spot back over. 2nd and 4. Robertson throwing, end zone, touchdown! Good grab going up top. Maxwell James grabs it for the Hawks, who offensively today have been spectacular.
This is the offense we expected to see last week from Monmouth, but man, just a big boy throw here by Robertson. He put it up top for his 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver Maxwell James to go up high and get the football. That's an NFL-type throw right there by Robertson. Threw it velocity, threw it conviction, and put it at the perfect place for your tall wide receiver.
Calton now on for the traditional extra point. Snap and holder, good. Kick is also good. And Monmouth has made it a two-possession game, still early in the second quarter. 19-7, your score.
Steps up in the pocket and just fires one high up for James, who goes skies above the rim and pulls it down for the touchdown. Monmouth has been impressive on both ends of offense. They've run the football rather well. Their passing game, regardless of the direction, has been both efficient and dynamic. And we saw their defense step up and get some stops here from Villanova after that first drive. So impressive start overall for the Hawks.
That's James, the 6'3", 200-pound junior. Came into today with 2 receiving touchdowns. That's his third. Wide receiver out of Charlotte, who transferred in via James Madison and Lackawanna Junior College.
That's one of the stronger JUCOs in college football. Lackawanna just always produces talent.
Rhea to kick it off. This one from the goal line will be returnable. And a big hole coming for Jabril Mace, who does get upended shy of midfield. That looked like it had touchdown written all over it.
Deuce Lee was the reason why it didn't go for a touchdown. And that's another player for Monmouth that has been doing outstanding. He made the shoestring tackle to trip up the returner. Otherwise, he'd still be running toward the end zone. Right there, Deuce Lee just grabs the ankle and was able to trip up Jabril Mace for a big game, but not a touchdown as a result.
Watkins bringing the Villanova offense back on. Throwing to the sideline. Catch is made by Sanchez.
And this is where you want to see how Villanova has grown over the course of the season. They're usually playing from out in front with a big lead. Having to come back down multiple possessions kind of breaks their tendencies offensively, so we'll see how they work themselves back into this ball game.
Inside carry. Abbott grinding towards the first down marker. Looks like he's going to be right at it. McCrary on the stop, but enough to move the chains.
For a bigger back, I'm impressed with the footwork of David Abbott and how he's able to consistently work himself across gaps to find open spaces.
Just on the plus side of the 50-yard line for Villanova. 9.5 minutes and ticking away. It's Mace in space, which is what Villanova wants. Good job coming up to make the tackle from Izzy Clark-White, the talented junior corner.
And good job from an eye discipline standpoint from Monmouth, because you saw Villanova pull both the left tackle and left guard, trying to get those eyes to go in that direction, but they kind of stayed home. Was able to flow to the football rather well to make the stop.
Second and 9, 1-yard pickup. Monmouth bringing pressure off the edge. Watkins hanging in the pocket. A little bit of alligator arms there from Abbott as he felt the pressure coming from the outside. Cannot make the catch. It will set up a 3rd and 9.
Sam Corpoy keeps his eyes up. He probably has a walk-in pick 6. He was going for the layout shot. Don't blame him because he's a defender, but right there, if he looks up, the ball is right in his mitts, and he'd be running toward the opposite end. Crisis averted for Villanova on that play.
Abbott probably fortunate he didn't catch it. 3rd and 9. Villanova so far on the day, 1 of 4 in these 3rd down situations. Watkins over the middle, catch made, 1st down and more. Grabbed by Jalen Sanchez.
That's a heck of a grab by Sanchez because that ball had a little bit of mustard on it coming from Watkins, and Sanchez was able to go low, grab that and not break stride, run. That's his 2nd tough 3rd down conversion in this ball game. Look at that, just all hands, was able to snatch that high velocity pass from Watkins and stay upfield to get the 1st down.
Monmouth bringing in a new set of defensive linemen. Wildcats in the midst of a good drive here. It's been all offense in essence so far today, short of 1 drive for Monmouth defensively, which was a big stop. Ragland on the left edge. Stop again by Izzy Clark-White.
It's a great job by Ragland. We call that riding the wave, where you just kind of get in that hip pocket of your pulling offensive lineman, just kind of wait it out, buy time to let them set up their blocks and you turn the corner, which he did rather well.
2nd and 5. 7:25 to go. 2nd quarter. Shotgun snap. Watkins, early decision to take it himself on the quarterback draw. Stopped a little shy of a 1st down.
I like how to deploy him in the QB run game because it kind of balances everything out. You can't get too comfortable in trying to just find out where the backs are if you're Monmouth's defense, because Watkins is a guy, a large individual at 6'3", 230, that can run rather well both within the tackles and also outside on the perimeter, as we saw earlier on his touchdown scamper.
3rd and 2. Got to be 4-down territory here for Villanova if they need it. They don't with Ragland. Check it, Abbott spinning, bouncing to the outside, bouncing towards the goal line, touchdown.
So fantastic job right there by David Abbott. We just talked about his footwork in combination with his size and how good he is in working across backs. Watch this, gaps. You're going to see him just cut inside the blocker, set up the blocker rather well, spin off a defender, just keeps his feet moving while moving forward downhill and finds pay dirt. Just a great piece of running by Abbott. Everyone that has ran the football today for Villanova has done a fantastic job.
Extra point attempt coming for Getman is up and through. Villanova makes it a 1-score game, 19-13, Monmouth with the advantage. David Abbott has been really sharp and hard to get on the ground.
Very tough to corral, especially when you got a big back with quick feet. So again, that's a tough test for any defense, as Monmouth should know that rather well because they have their own big back with quick feet in Sonny Into.
Scoring drive, 8 plays, 59 yards, 4+ taken off the clock, which leaves us with 6:26 remaining in the first half. We mentioned before the game today, seniors were honored. Also today, it is Heroes Day, and we'll spend some time at halftime with one of those. Part of the student body now, a Marine Corps veteran, Kyle Gregorio, who is president of the Student Veterans Association on campus. He'll be our halftime guest. Ball skipping all the way to the 20-yard line. Grabbed by Green. Was all the way across to the 30. Run out right around the 34-yard line.
It's a long way to travel for Mekhi Green. I'm surprised he went that far away from where his blockers were. Thought he was going to be able to turn the corner, but good job stringing out that run, or return, I'm sorry, from Villanova.
Back on the Monmouth offense. Robertson so far today, 11 of 12 for 164 yards and has 3 touchdowns. Hawks have not punted. They have scored 3 straight drives. Nelson bouncing it to the outside. Gets to the 39-yard line, gain of 5.
Nice piece of footwork right there by Nelson, showing you that quickness to dash and dart his way inside, then bounce right outside to continue to move forward for positive gains, positive yardage. Keeps their playbook open to 2nd and 5 here, so once again, this is good offense for Monmouth.
Trips to the left. Robertson looking that way to his receiving core. Give is to Nelson. Flag flying as Nelson tackled a little shy of the first down marker.
Might be a face mask by Brendan Bell, the linebacker on that tackle.
Holding. Offense. Number 64. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Coming back the other direction, Chris Moreno, the left guard.
Although it's coming back, man, had Brendan Bell not been able to make that tackle on Nelson, he had a lot of room on the outside. There was no one standing there in the alley between Bell and the end zone. So you're going to see right there, screen holding Wabodo. Don't blame him because he's been a disruptive force for Villanova all throughout the game. This is a major win for Villanova's defense because now it puts the strength back in your favor with that secondary going up in the passing situation.
2nd and 15. Nelson close to the original line of scrimmage. Will set Monmouth up with a 3rd and 11.
Capri Martin once again on the tackle. We called his name earlier in the first quarter. So this defensive line for Villanova has been solid versus the run, but also has been very active in not only getting pressure, but also staying active at the line of scrimmage. So we expected to kind of see why they were ranked #1 defensively, and we're seeing seeds of that, although Monmouth has had their success because, again, this is the #1 offense in the country.
3rd and 11. Hawks have been creative today in these situations. Spate out of the backfield. Checks with Robertson, who will throw over the middle. Quick dump down for Derry, who didn't have much to work with. A gain of 2, and Villanova will force Monmouth to punt for the first time today.
First time we're seeing a punt from Monmouth with almost 4 minutes left in the half. And that was one of those things we talked about earlier, Matt, where you're running a shallow cross to the short side of the field. You really don't have any options or any opportunities. That sideline became an additional defender for Villanova, which kind of helped them stop them on 3rd down.
4th and 9, Luke Schabel on to punt. Potter. Check it. Maddox back deep. Excuse me, Tanner Maddox. Bounces off some tackles, comes forward. Tanner Maddox, the backup quarterback, who doubles as the punt returner. Decent return, and we'll give Villanova the football here late in the first half at the 25-yard line.
So Villanova, what you're saying, Matt, is they have their own version of Taysom Hill of the New Orleans Saints.
It's true.
Guy that can return punts, but is also your backup quarterback. Imagine the level of athleticism you have to have in order for that to be your job duties.
Not sure that I would put my application in for that.
And I love how he caught the ball and didn't fair catch. So he's like, nah, I'm going to return this thing. There's no fair catching in my blood. I like it.
Richmond trying to stay undefeated in the CAA. They lead Hampton 14-7. Towson up 10-0 on North Carolina A&T. First and 10, Villanova. Running out to the 30-yard line is Abbott.
It'll be interesting to see how Villanova attacks these last 4 minutes. Now we're under 3:25 and counting of this game. You kind of want this to be the last possession if you're Villanova of the half with you having the football.
Second and 5. Left side, a yard, if that.
Like 3rd and 4. This is where we've seen Villanova have some success. Sanchez, Jalen Sanchez, the receiver, has been their guy on 3rd down. He's come up with 2 conversions so far in this ball game. We'll see if they try to attack the middle of the field or put Connor Watkins on a move, give him a 2-way go to where he can kind of convert with his legs or with his arm.
Third and 4. Under 2.5 to go. Watkins throws across the field, caught and dropped by Sanchez.
Just started to build up. Sanchez talked about his sure hands on 3rd downs, and that's where they went with the football, but he just dropped it. That was one where it's kind of unexcusable, because if he was going to drop a ball, it would have been the previous 3rd down where he caught that one low and away with velocity, but big time fortunate stop for Monmouth here, getting the ball back with 2:21 left in the half.
Kayshawn Schulters, the former Villanova player, now in a Monmouth uniform, had the coverage. Fair catch called for and made by Makai Green at the 35. And Monmouth with 3 timeouts remaining and over 2 minutes. They got plenty of time to try and go down the field. So, partner, while we've got a second in the change of possession, you and I talking before the game, in the CAA right now, you feel Richmond, Rhode Island, Stony Brook, Villanova would have the edge to get into the postseason. All have no more than 1 loss. Richmond, the only undefeated team, all right now at least 8 wins. But I will throw this at you. It could be completely turned upside down if New Hampshire or William and Mary or both win both of their next 2 games. They would go to 8-4. You've got 4 teams with 8 wins already. That's usually a magic number from the CAA to get a postseason berth. If UNH, who is scoreless right now, just kicking off against Stony Brook, wins, it could open the door for a lot of madness. We've hit the 2-minute warning here at Monmouth. We're back for the end of the first half. We were just talking about it going to break. Here's a clearer picture of what the CAA looks like. Again, Richmond, Rhode Island, Stony Brook, Villanova, all teams in the top 25 right now. You have to take Delaware out of the mix. They are not eligible for the FCS playoffs this week. The two teams to watch are New Hampshire, who, again, Stony Brook today, at Maine next week, William and Mary, home today, Bryant, and then they'll play Richmond next week. To me, if they win, New Hampshire and William Mary win their last two games, you could be looking at 6 teams going to the playoffs in the CAA.
William and Mary was ranked for a while in the FCS top 25, and so if they are able to upset, Richmond, automatically you get them in.
Dump down for Derry at the first down marker, a little bit shy. And you and I both voters, UNH has been in and out of the poll during the course of the season as well.
Exactly. Somewhere between 21 and 25, they've kind of hung out all throughout the season. Now, if you are in the Big South OVC Association, i.e. UT Martin or Tennessee State, you don't want that scenario to play out because that would essentially eliminate you two from the postseason.
3rd and 1. 90 seconds remaining. On the ground, Ento struggling to get to the first down. I don't think he's got it.
It's the same cast of characters for Villanova on that tackle. You got Aiden Howard, number 91, Wobodo, 98, and Capri Martin at number 93, all, again, involved in that play. When you have that level of talent along the line of scrimmage, it makes it tough. Now, Monmouth is leaving their offense out here, it looks like. They're going to let this play clock run down some. They may run out the punt team with 30 seconds left. But this is 4th and 1. They trust their team to go out and get it, so they're going to go for it here.
At least line up to go for it. Spade in motion. Robertson looks, play clock will wind down. Monmouth will, I think, use a timeout.
If I'm Monmouth, I would still go for it.
First for the
based
half,
off how your defense has played against Villanova. They're not a quick strike offense, so you can kind of gamble a little bit here with taking your chances. Think about how they scored their touchdown.
And this is a little bit of that risk reward that we talked about. Let's finish overall in the picture. Some of the teams that are looking good with the CAA, with Stony Brook and URI just on the outside. What are those bubble teams thinking right now?
Oh, man, first of all, I'm surprised Missouri State is even ranked. They're transitioning to FBS. They shouldn't be ranked number 1. But if you're Tarleton State and Abilene Christian, both of which play each other today, you're looking at this like, man, we have to make sure it's either a close game or a victory for either side because they are on that bubble right now. Mercer has a tough test today. You got to play Alabama. So you just worried about the plus 41.5 if you're a wagering guy looking at Mercer.
And pick up your paycheck on the way out the door. 4th and 1. Shable hanging it up. Maddox bluffs Monmouth, but a great punt from Luke Shable will pin Villanova inside the 5. Hawks will down it, and one would imagine Villanova will run a play and head to the locker room.
So it's fascinating because we talked about this as well, Matt, where this year is so unique because you don't have the normally 2 teams in the Patriot League. You don't have the normally team in the MEAC or SWAC that you're kind of making the case for to be in that large bid if they don't go to the Celebration Bowl. And there's normally not that second team in the NEC that you're usually kind of saying, hey, they have an outside chance of getting in because you lose Merrimack and Sacred Heart because they're both playing as FBS independents this season. So it's wide open for 6 to 7 teams from the CAA to get in.
Wildcats run that play and will head to the locker room. A really entertaining first half of football from both. Monmouth trying to pull what would be the upset. 19-14, they lead at the half. Not sure why teams are being called back on. Some discrepancy, I guess, as to who goes off first. It looks like Monmouth will head to the locker room first, then Villanova. We've got halftime around the corner for you midway through this CAA matchup.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
I'm the director of the Cancer Center, designated by the National Cancer Institute.
We are here to make an important distinction.
There are cancer centers.
And there are NCI-designated cancer centers.
Recognized for world-class research
and positive impact on their communities.
No single person is going to cure cancer.
It'll take a team effort.
That's what an NCI-designated cancer center is all about. In New Jersey, there's only one, Rutgers Cancer Institute in New Jersey, together with RWJ-Barnabas Health.
Whoever said that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line never said anything about the quality of a ride. With Coach USA, you can charter a luxury motor coach for all of your special occasions. From your wedding day to corporate events, sightseeing, trips to the casino, sporting events, and concerts. Enjoy free amenities on board, things like Wi-Fi, restrooms, and movies. So to book your charter anywhere in the US or Canada, just contact our sales office today.
Halfway through honoring the seniors here at Monmouth on Senior Day, Hawks have put together a good performance, leading number 8, Villanova, 19-14. We are at the break. Emery and I spending a little bit of time at the end part of that first half looking at potential playoff teams for the CAA. This is your out-of-town scoreboard. Games in progress right now. Campbell and Delaware are scoreless. It is Towson leading North Carolina A&T by a score of 17-0. Richmond and Hampton going at it, 17-7 there for the Spiders. Bryant, William and Mary are scoreless. Stony Brook, UNH, a huge game, scoreless. Rhode Island trailing Albany by a score of 3-0. Later on today, Maine and Elon with the late start. That is the 2 o'clock kickoff. Standing-wise from top to bottom, as always, so many quality teams. Richmond, the only undefeated team in the league right now. Delaware still counts conference-wise, but not eligible to go to the postseason. Rhode Island, Stony Brook, Villanova, already 8 wins on the season so far. New Hampshire, William and Mary still alive. Maine, Towson trying to finish with a flurry over 500. Then you go Elon, Hampton, Monmouth, with Campbell, Albany, Bryant, North Carolina A&T at the bottom part of the standing boards in the CAA. Such a good conference, always regarded as one of the top conferences in all of FCS football. Big Sky, MVC, CAA, those would usually be what most people would say are your top 3. We will take a timeout here. When we come back, we'll talk military and student leaders and have someone in person on campus. We are back with the Stars and Stripes flying high above Kessler Stadium. Veterans Day this past week. Today, we've mentioned a couple of times Monmouth honoring those that have served our country before the game and all during the course of the game. We talked about what we would be doing here at halftime. Kyle Gregorio, who is a senior here on campus, New Jersey native, and most important, the president of the Student Veterans Association here on campus. Served our country in the Marine Corps, now finishing up your degree. Kyle, first, thanks for giving us a couple minutes and your service to our country. I want to talk about for you how, because you do it in a lot of ways reverse. You went to the Marine Corps out of high school, now coming back to college. So many people would probably do it the reverse way, get your degree and then maybe find a career in the military. Tell me more about specifically your experience.
So I would recommend doing that because I was more mature when I came to school. So I took my grades more seriously. I wasn't out having fun. I was just focused on school, and just being older, you take pride in your work, and it really gets you ready. Plus, it helps you put yourself through school. So.
On campus, the Student Veteran Association, I don't know the specific number. I'd love to hear how many students are actually veterans on campus.
So we have about 80 military connected, but that includes dependents as well. I would say we have about 10 active veterans, but there's probably closer to 40, 45 veterans here on campus.
And during the course of the fall semester, I know you guys do during the course of the year a variety of events, but your big fundraiser is during the fall semester.
Yeah, so we've been raising money for the Dennis Vaccaro Foundation, and we've just been trying to raise money. He's a student veteran that went to Monmouth University who passed away last year, so we're trying to help the cause. They dedicated it in his memory to help veterans, so.
People can still donate to that.
Yes, they could go to Dennis Vaccaro Foundation on Instagram and reach out.
All right, so as I was doing some background and some homework on you, I learned that while you were at A.L. Johnson, New Jersey High School, over 100 victories as a high school wrestler. The lessons that you learned as a student athlete that carried over into the military that now carry into being a college student?
I think wrestling was the #1 thing that helped me get ready for the Marine Corps. And then the Marine Corps, it was just natural. And then right out, it was kind of a tough transition from military to college. But, I mean, that's why I got involved in the SVA, because I did it on my own. So now I try and help all the veterans that come in and they seem lost. And I just try and give them a place for them to feel like they're a part of a group again.
Tell me from a standpoint, Kyle, the correlation that you could make being a athlete to being someone who serves in the military.
So with wrestling, it's a lot of discipline, you know, losing weight, maintaining your weight, staying in good shape, you know, so that really gets you in the mindset to go to boot camp and have everything put out in front of you and just having to stay like motivated and dedicated and continue on the path, you know.
Finish with this one, if you can. I know you're going to graduate with a degree in Homeland Security. What you would hope your future plans to be, and how that development for you over the years that you served as an active member of the Marine Corps that now have carried over into your life as a college student, putting it all together, what does Kyle Gregorio want to go do?
I want to go into law enforcement. I think that I'm geared towards that, being in the Marine Corps and just having the military aspect and being able to talk to people and, you know, just do the job to the best of my ability. So
I didn't tell the truth. I got one more for you. All right. How important is it on college campuses, and I think this is really maybe the most important thing, how important on college campuses is it to have a Student Veterans Association for veterans that are in same scenario for you? There might even be people that are older than you that decide, I'm coming back after a longer career in the military or taking a break. A place to go that they feel like there's like-minded people there for them.
I think it's crucial. I know a lot of schools do have it, but I have a friend of mine that goes to school in New York, and he's looking to open up a chapter, and he reached out to me. So I'm trying to help him make the right connections with the national SVA so they can help him set up a chapter in his school. And he sees all the good stuff we do here at Monmouth, and he wants to get a part of it because he's 2 years into school, and they don't have one, and he sees me with all the veterans on campus from all different branches, and we all just get along because we all have the same similar background. I think it's good for a support system for sure.
I've been at Monmouth for a really long time. I know we are always so fortunate to have veterans be part of the student body. I thank you so much for your service, and thank you for giving us a couple of minutes here today. Kyle Gregorio, the student president of the Veterans Association on campus. Monmouth leading Villanova 19-14. We're back with highlights and stats after this.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
I'm the director of the Cancer Center, designated by the National Cancer Institute.
We are here to make an important distinction.
There are cancer centers.
And there are NCI-designated cancer centers.
Recognized for world-class research
and positive impact on their communities.
No single person is going to cure cancer.
It'll take a team effort.
That's what an NCI-designated cancer center is all about. In New Jersey, there's only one. Rutgers Cancer Institute in New Jersey, together with RWJ Barnabas Health.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Fun day of football so far here in West Long Branch. Monmouth leading Villanova by a score of 19-14. You see the numbers. We knew Monmouth offensively would give Villanova a run for it. Top offense versus top defense. I've been impressed with how both offensive. I think Villanova's been pretty efficient as well.
Yeah, they've been moving the football rather well, especially within their passing game. The third downs have been impressive. I know it says 3 or 7 here, but I feel like they understand where to go with the ball, and they found Jalen Sanchez on third downs often. And inside the red zone, this is always a common theme. Both teams are batting 1,000 right now because they're scoring the ball once they get it in there. But the level of sustained drives has what's been most impressive completely on both sides.
Quarterbacks have both been good as well. On the side for Villanova, Connor Watkins, we say efficient, 8 of 11 for 80 yards. He has a rushing touchdown as well. Derek Robertson, top quarterback statistically in the FCS at the CAA level. He is 13 of 14, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think most importantly, he has not been intercepted today.
Not at all. Been very efficient with the football. And we talked about the running backs. David Abbott, to me, has really popped onto the scene as someone that's going to be a player for Villanova for years to come. Him and also Racklin, what they do running the ball, providing that balance, been impressive.
You know, for Villanova, you think of it, they want to keep alive an opportunity at getting the automatic bid for the CAA. They need Richmond to lose, but they're going to have to probably win out in order to do that. This second half coming up, as we look at some of the highlights in the first half, extremely important for this Wildcat team.
Right, because this is essentially for seeding. We're trying to get them, if you're Villanova, you're trying to get yourself a home playoff game. And that's what's going to have to be the key. How they finish the second half kind of weighs in the minds of the voters and moving forward.
Offense is dictated. You see that catch right there by Maxwell James, part of a good offensive half for both teams. 33 total points. Monmouth got 19 of them. We take a timeout. When we come back, we are second half bound. 30 minutes left of football. Our Monmouth football broadcast today brought to you in part by McClune's family of restaurants featuring 11 premier locations with 10 across the Jersey Shore. All locations open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Visit mcclunes.com for more information. Second half on tap for us here with the czar of the playbook, Emery Hunt, and our inside statistician, Abby Martin. I'm Matt Harmon. Great to be with you on a Saturday afternoon. I am a huge fan, by the way, of the noon kickoff.
Oh, man, listen, you wouldn't get a complaint out of me. I've been on noon kickoff since I was a player, man. Like, yo, let's get this thing going early so we can be done early so I can lay down and rest. Eat first, then rest. And then eat again.
And again.
And again. And rest some more. Like, noon kickoffs for the win.
Something to keep an eye on, not just Villanova getting the football, is that they will be going into the win in the third quarter and have the win in the fourth quarter. You would think at some point what has been a gusty, breezy day and not letting up at all would have some factor in this football game.
Everything in the world needs to be made out of that nest that sit atop the scoreboard. Make everything out of the nest.
Squib kick by Monmouth, fielded by one of the second level guys for Villanova, out over the 35. Julian Lance, backup running back out of Scarsdale.
I am never going to let that die, guys. Like, that nest is so strong. It has been through, like, national disasters, natural disasters, national ones too, but it's still sitting up there strong, sturdy.
Need some birds in there is what we need.
Nah, you got them on the field right here. Got hawks on the field.
Should have one of those trained hawks that just sit up
there, right? Make it part of the stadium.
Watkins on a 1st and 10. First play from scrimmage in the second half. RPO, and this is going to be pass interference on Deuce Lee.
Felt like Deuce Lee panicked in that situation. He didn't have to really make contact. There was enough time
interference
for him.
Defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
There was enough time there for him to make a play on the ball without having to go through the receiver. A great job by Connor Watkins to see the one-on-one matchup because he was sort of late in deciding whether or not to pull the football or throw it. He saw one-on-one with a lot of space for his receiver to run after the catch. So he made the throw, but I felt like Deuce Lee panicked a little bit and kind of caused the pass interference.
Chris Colby was the intended target. With the 15 yards, Villanova quickly into Monmouth territory. Abbott starts left, comes back to the right. We'll get down to the Monmouth 42 for a gain of 6. Monmouth player lost their helmet in the middle, and it's the talented defensive tackle Isaiah Rogers who will have to come out for a play.
Listen, this is someone we hadn't called a lot today, but he is one fantastic player. I think the growth he has made over the course of the season has been one of the more underrated stories of this Monmouth Hawk football team. He kind of got helped by the Villanova offensive lineman nudging his helmet off, and the ref still made him come off to the side for a play.
2nd and 3. Wildcats spread it out with 3 receivers. Low throw, incomplete. Make it now 3rd and short.
That was the first errant pass we've seen from Watkins. He's been pretty sharp and accurate all throughout the day. That one was a little bit too low. Kobe couldn't make the play.
Rogers back into the game after missing that 2nd down play. He and Chris King, the 2 defensive tackles. Justin O'Bannon, Miles Mitchell, the defensive ends. 3rd and 3 for Nova. Abbott stood up at the 40 and pushed backwards. They'll give him forward progress a little closer towards the 39, but not enough for a 1st down. And there is a Villanova offensive lineman who is down. That is Kyle Fay, who we talked about in the open. Fay put into the starting lineup as more of a last-minute entry, back after some injury issues and suffering something right now.
Not to be so prisoner of the moment, but this is a very critical decision here for Villanova. It's going to be 4th and 1. You're at the plus 39-yard line. A little bit too far for a field goal, but you got a big back in David Abbott. Do you trust him in this situation to go and get you the 1st down and sustain this drive? Something he did rather well in the first half.
Well, field goal probably totally out of play right now.
Completely.
Into and across the wind a little bit. You could play that field position game and pin Monmouth back. Looks like it will be, we're going to bring the offense back on and at least line up to go for it.
Could also see a pooch punt here from Watkins if he takes a step back a couple of yards, but it looks like they're just going to go trust their offense to go pick up this 1 yard.
Abbott to the left of Watkins. Clayton and Weldy move to the left side of the formation also. Shotgun snap. Give to Abbott. 1st down. He's been hard to tackle on first contact today. I completely agree. True freshman, 6 foot, 220 pounds. He is going to be a lot for teams to deal with in years to come in the CAA.
And it's a good balance of power and quickness and shiftiness. He's just not a guy that's going to run straight downhill. We saw in the long touchdown run, he was able to make guys miss and then still accelerate to get the corner and to get to the pylon.
Trips right. Clayton, the tight end, will make it for that direction. Monmouth, a late adjustment. The give is off on the right side.
Did you see what Connor Watkins did on that run play? That's an example of showing you how much you love your teammates and how much you love the game, because he gave the handoff and it was a power play, and he saw the penetrating defensive lineman coming from the opposite side to chase a run down the way. So as he's handing the ball off, he quickly got on the back of the running back to try to throw that block to keep him from getting to the backside of the tailback.
2nd and 9, just a yard pickup. You see Clark White had the tackle on the backside. Watkins from the shotgun, sets up screen. Catch was made in the backfield, and a missed tackle opportunity for Monmouth. It was Clark White who was right there. He went in with the shoulder tackle, and that did not work on Isaiah Ragland.
You already know what this is going to look like during the week of prep for the next game. They're going to rewind this play like 15 times in the meeting rooms, and talk about tackling technique. Bring your arms with your shoulders. He read it perfectly because he was able to drift off the receiver, left him wide open because he saw the screen set up. You did everything right except bring your arms with you when you're trying to tackle, and therefore you gave up additional yardage.
3rd and 2, 7-yard pickup. Big play for Monmouth defensively. Rogers will storm the backfield and take down Jabril Mace.
Just was speaking about how great of a player Rogers has been for this defense. You saw right there, just be able to beat his block, get to the backfield, and just smother the tailback in the backfield. He read that perfectly. Didn't allow himself to be fanned out or kicked out by the block. Got into the backfield and got the stop.
Rogers, the transfer in from Central Michigan, has had an impact for Monmouth in the front four. It leaves Villanova with a difficult situation again. 4th down. Last time it was 4th and 1. This time 4th and 6.
Timeout, Villanova. First of the half.
Wildcats are going to want to talk about it. We'll come back after their discussion. Monmouth 19, Villanova 14.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
CAA football is action-packed.
CAA football is thrilling.
CAA football is gritty.
CAA football is competitive.
CAA football is grit and grind.
CAA football is exciting.
CAA football is tough.
CAA football is relentless.
CAA football is persistent. CAA football is incredible.
CAA football is excellence.
CAA football is lights out.
CAA football is the standard.
CAA football united and excellent.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Our game today brought to you in part by our good friends at Surf Taco. 9 great locations across New Jersey. Visit surftaco.com for more information and to place an order today. Emery, you said you usually eat right after a game. You could call Surf Taco or go to surftaco.com. Have your order ready, I'd say 3 o'clock-ish. You could pick it up on your way out.
I was about to say a true foodsman like myself would have had Surf Taco meet me as I approached the parking lot. That's how great of timing I have with regards to food, especially tacos.
11:01 to go third quarter. Monmouth up by 5. Villanova here on what is a 4th and 7. Watkins to the line. Steps back, shotgun formation. There's that pooch kick. It bounces, rolls, and goes sideways at the 15-yard line.
So I wasn't wrong. I was just early when you sit there and think about it. You know? It's all about, Matt, just understanding the game.
Which you do.
I didn't expect you to come back with a compliment, so I had a retort waiting. So
we've been working together for several years. When you put me in a situation like that, I mean, you are the self-proclaimed czar of the playbook. So clearly, anything to the contrary would not be taken kindly.
I was not ready for a compliment. I had weaponry out, ready to go.
Robertson going downtown. Wants it all. He's got it potentially. Gavin Nelson the catch. Takes it inside the 30, down to around the 25.
Just a great job right there, recognizing a one-on-one situation. No safety back deep, and they caught Villanova in a man cover situation. And Monmouth has shown time and time again, year after year, that they will trust their guys against your guys, their X's versus your O's in a one-on-one situation all the time, especially in the passing game.
Good grab by Gavin Nelson inside the mad scientist of the Monmouth offense. Jeff Gallo in the white hat, the offensive coordinator. Kevin Callahan Jr., a member of the offensive staff to his right.
And you saw Gavin Nelson just completely get inside position and then subsequently run past Tyrell Mims, the graduate corner. And he was giving chase, man, and good job for him to staying in the fight, because had the ball been a little bit more out in front, Nelson would have just ran right past him for a touchdown. As that's Mims right there. He had to leg it out, trying to keep up and catch up to get the tackle. So now you're going to get a situation where he has to come out for a play, and whoever comes in next for Villanova is going to be someone that I would expect Coach Gallo to target on this here play.
Mims on one side, Ice Waxter on the other. Two of the best cover corners in the CAA. To answer that question, Zamir Dawood is the player to come in. He is at the top of your picture. He is one-on-one on TJ Spate.
And he's wearing number 37 at corner. They're going to throw it at him.
1st and 10. Robertson on the ground. Nelson on the ground. Nelson in the end zone. Nelson. Touchdown, Monmouth. Almost went in untouched.
Right, because there was no safety in the alley. It felt like Villanova was a man short defensively, because that play was executed perfectly. Well blocked by Monmouth. You're going to see here on a replay, great shot by camera crew. Two offensive linemen coming around the end, but only one defender was in the way. So he was able to get him kicked out, and Nelson, with his speed and explosiveness, went virtually unaccosted to the end zone. It felt like they were a man short defensively, or at least beat by alignment. So just a great play call right there by Coach Gallo, getting that run going to the outside where Monmouth had the advantage and was able to run through.
Cowton for the extra point. Tucks that one home to put 26 on the board for the Hawks. 26-14. 2 plays, 85 yards. It was Gavin Nelson setting it up. It was Rodney Nelson taking it in.
So when we're talking about number 1 offense versus number 1 defense, when you look at this scoring drive, all of this says number 1 offense in the FCS. 2 plays, 33 seconds. That's the example of the mark of a team that leads the FCS in offense, because it doesn't take much. It doesn't take volume for them to strike quick. And it just brings in the bigger question, if you're a Villanova or if you're a Villanova fan, like, they played solid in this game, but if you're projecting forward to the postseason, can they score enough to where they can overcome some of these type of battles that they're going to see in the postseason, where teams that, will have some good offenses that they'll face?
Playoffs, a whole different animal when you get to that point of the season. Monmouth top 10 at the FCS level. That's overall. They're the number 1 offense in the CAA. top 10 scoring offense, number 8 in the country at the FCS level with their 37.3 points per game. They're on target for about that today. Rhea will kick it off. Returnable, though, for Jabril Mace. He showed speed before. He will show it again here. Tackled on the plus side of the 50-yard line. Mace has had an impact in the return game.
Yeah, Mace has had an impact, but you also have to give credit to where they are blocking this thing on the corner. They're setting up their blockers perfectly. Watch how you see Monmouth get effectively kicked out here by a bunch of white jerseys. No holding, just great blocking and execution for Villanova. Allows them to pop these kickoffs that we've seen so far today.
Wildcats here with a 1st and 10. Getting a sense it's which defense today can make an extra play. Up into the middle, gain of 2.
Now, if you're Villanova, you sort of want to slow the pace down here and maintain or regain control of this ball game, because you can't have a quick possession here and put the ball back in the Monmouth's hands with all that momentum and that firepower.
Second and 8 with 9:40 remaining. Watkins to the sideline. Catch made by Jalen Sanchez.
It's going to be a flag on Sanchez. He kind of, I'm surprised they didn't call him for the false start. He tried to make it look like motion and then still started early, so it's going to be a legal motion. It wasn't really set.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Right on top of that. Will negate the catch and will back up Villanova 5 yards.
He kind of lost track of where he was when he went in motion and realized he was already ahead of the line of scrimmage and was like, oh, let me get back. And the ref reached for the flag, and then he didn't get set, which allowed him to then throw the flag.
Second down, 13. Inside run, not much to work with. Bring up now 3rd and long.
It's a good job playing front side defense right there by Monmouth. They was able to set the edge and forced Ragland to stop his feet to try to work back across the formation to where they closed that back door as well. He had nowhere to go, so they really bottled up the run game on that second down play.
3rd and 12. Hawks will try and get their defense off the field again. Showing pressure coming. Watkins stepping up, trying to keep the play alive. Great find, great catch. Abbott continuing to run. Right sideline, 1st and goal.
Man, that was just a heads-up play by Connor Watkins, because you saw the blitz coming. He jumped right into the pressure and broke that first wave. Looked like he was going to try to use Abbott as the lead blocker, but Abbott did a great job of just separating himself and getting upfield, and Watkins threw the football to Abbott, who's showing good hands, catching the ball out in space on the move. And need I say, he kind of looks like Le'Veon Bell out there. Big back, soft hands, quick feet. Like what I'm seeing from the freshman.
Make it 1st and goal from inside the 9. Watkins, an open set. Abbott on the ground, back to the line, nothing more than that. Going to bring up 2nd down.
Can't overstate how big of a conversion that was on 3rd down for this Villanova offense, because they were on a cusp of letting this game slip away. I know it's a lot of football game left, but you didn't want to lose that possession to Monmouth in that situation. So great job by your graduate quarterback, Connor Watkins, making sure that didn't happen.
Second and goal. more than midway through as we come up on 7 remaining in the third. Spread formation for Villanova. Watkins tucks it and runs, flicks it up and over the top of his intended target.
Too much dip on his chip on that one. He kind of spilled himself after the first play he made on 3rd down, but then try to do it again. Probably should have just ran it. He had a lot of room to run on the outside. I get the thought process, but Abbott thought he was going to run too and kind of stopped his feet.
I do enjoy your phrases every once in a while. I've worked a lot of games together. I've never heard too much dip on the chip before.
Hey, I try to make sure you pick up what I'm putting down, man. Like, I'm trying to make sure you stay alert for this broadcast.
4 receiver set. Watkins throwing into the end zone and overshoots what looked to be an open Daniel Lopes.
He had Lopes too running on the back line. Lopes goes 6'2". So he put up super high. He had Lopes running free, just kind of the placement was off. Now we're going to see them set up for a field goal.
Which is no gimme with the win right now. Getman, who is 7 of 13 on the season. This will be a 26-yarder. Had the distance and was able to navigate the breeze here off the shore. 6:50 remaining. Monmouth 26, Villanova 17. Hawks football when we come back. The Monmouth offense, when you look at it conversion-wise, it's been good, sometimes even spectacular. This is coming into the game overall. Hawks around 45% on 3rd down, which is so key, and they've had so much success. And this is a trend in college football, isn't it, Emery? Many more teams deciding to just go for it on 4th down.
It makes sense, especially when you determine how well you've moved the ball on that particular drive. If we've shown the ability to move a guy off the ball, might as well just continue to keep that momentum going. Now, if you worked hard to get down the field and you reach a 4th down, like, you know what, let's not get too big for our britches here and just kind of take the points. And that's what we're seeing these teams do moving forward.
We'll show you the flip side of it with the Villanova defense coming back on. Squib kick picked up, though, by Spate, patiently waiting for things to set up. We'll take it over the 30-yard line. And on the flip side for Villanova, they're a little bit better than the Monmouth offensive averages. 32% key 3rd down, 44% on the 4th down. Again, it was our storyline coming in. Top offense in the CAA in Monmouth, top defense in the CAA in Villanova. right now, you can't say Villanova defensively has played bad, but you'd have to give the edge right now to the Monmouth offense in that department.
Right, and then the underlying story is how well defensively Monmouth has played, which is something that we didn't talk about coming into this ball game because you just assumed that the defense would kind of have a ho-hum day dealing with this run game of Villanova.
Makai Green, the carry to start the drive. Picks up close to 8 out to the 41-yard line.
And a big reason why Villanova is so successful on third down is because they usually win on first down, which they haven't done well today against Monmouth.
Spate, the little flip pass inside, catches, breaks tackle, one more, looking for a seam. He's so dangerous in the open field. Villanova able to track him down and wrap him up at the 15-yard line. He almost showed too much patience there.
Right, and this is the speed and acceleration we're seeing be the difference between Monmouth and Villanova right now. Monmouth has multiple playmakers that if you give them the football, they have the chance to go the distance, which is what we're seeing here from guys like TJ Spate, Makai Green on the first carry of this drive, and Spate almost went the distance here, weaving through that defense rather well.
Soneento back into the game. Robertson going to put it back into the air. Going to go in the direction of Gavin Nelson, who will make the catch. It has been a theme for Monmouth for so many years offensively. They have so many weapons. You cannot take one guy away. Ento gets his number called here towards the goal line, second push. He is in for the score. Second time Soneento has found pay dirt. First time today, it's his more traditional route of doing it on the ground. That will tie the single season program record of rushing touchdowns set by David Sinisi.
An emphatic answer to the scoring drive from Villanova by Monmouth. And this play doesn't happen if, to our point, you saw on first down a nice throw to the outside to Gavin Nelson that got them 3 yards closer to the first down, let alone to the end zone. And so, again, if Villanova hasn't been able to win on first down, it has been a big issue in this ball game. Monmouth has done what they want to do on offense all throughout the game.
Extra point tacked in by Calton, 33 on the board for Monmouth. For Ento, his 22nd rushing touchdown of the season.
And we talked about this in the pregame open, how they wanted to avoid, Villanova wanted to avoid this looking like the Maine game. And it's starting to look like the Maine game because Maine jumped out on them early. Now you're dealing with a much better offense here in Monmouth, so you really put yourself at a disadvantage trying to play track meet with someone like the Hawks.
An interesting list there of most rushing touchdowns on the season at the FBS and FCS level. That was coming in to the day. Soneento right there, and he's one more close to being at the top of the list.
Don't have me get into a conversation about Ashton Genty and also Army, because that will take up the whole broadcast.
Are you angry about something?
I just want people to reward winning. Army should be ranked in the top 15.
Okay. No arguments here, buddy. Don't take it out on me.
Hold on, I'm up to, you just happen to catch the strays. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just start to swinging and everybody just, if you're in the way, you get hit.
Huh.
But it just shows you how well Ento has been running the football, because everyone talks about Ashton Genty, but no one is bringing up Soneento in terms of the Peyton Award.
Well, I know one guy who's been on his bandwagon for the last couple of years. It's you.
Yes.
I mean, you feel like he has a future at the next level.
He does. He's 5'11", 235, quick feet, and finishes runs, just like Ashton Genty does for Boise State near the goal line. Ento is almost money once he gets inside the 5.
Such a great pickup after coming to Monmouth the start of last season from Harvard. Watkins running this time to the sideline. See if a toe was able to get in for Daniel Lopes. First indication is it was.
Maturity is right there on that play by Watkins, showing he wanted the deep post. Monmouth had a rotating safety coming over top, so he just went back, checked it down to Lopes on the sideline for the first down.
Set up a 1st and 10. At the Villanova 36. 4.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Watkins will call his own number here, run into the middle of the line.
You know, just zooming out a little bit here, talking about Villanova's offense. The score looks big, 33-17, but you're still only down 2 possessions. But now you start to talk about what we brought up earlier, the chasing points. Do you go for 2 now, or do you kind of continue to try to play this possessions game and hope you get a 3rd possession, try to take the lead?
Second and 7. Watkins over the middle, looking for Chris Colby, who will make the catch, his 2nd of the day.
It's a great job by Watkins protecting Chris Colby, his receiver, by allowing him to go down to the ground to make a body catch to where he doesn't take the hit from the defensive back and potentially draws that to knock that ball loose. So good placement on that throw.
Split back sack out of the shotgun. Screen set up. Abbott catches it. Good job of Monmouth by recognizing it. Willie Love, talented linebacker. First man on the scene for Monmouth.
It's a great tackle right there by Willie Love, because at the end of the day, if he doesn't make that ankle tackle, Abbott is still running. We've seen him do a good job in the open field, showcasing his broken field capabilities. So just a big-time tackle right there, forcing him to continue to stay on the field and try to get these yards and bits and pieces.
On 2nd and 8. Watkins pumps right, throws right. Cannot connect with Kopecky.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 95. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Justin O'Bannon with the late hit.
It's a big penalty right there, because you had them, would have been 3rd and about 8. He tried the hole shot, and I understood the decision, but just the throw wasn't quite as accurate, but he tried to just to fit it in there to protect the receiver once again, and was bailed out by the penalty.
New set of downs, new life for Villanova offensively. Run game has been hard to get on track consistently today for either team. Good job by the front 7 of Monmouth, the front 6 overall for Villanova.
What's happening up front is Monmouth is using its quickness to combat the power of Villanova. So they're beating Villanova to the spot and forcing those backs to stop their feet in the backfield, which then allows that speed to converge and get them on the ground.
Ragland on the last carry. He stays in here on what is 2nd and 10. Watkins this time had to make an early decision to come forward. Gain of a yard sets up 3rd down.
It's always an interesting tug of war between power and speed, and you're seeing both teams utilize it rather well. Monmouth is winning the battle up front because they're able to quickly win off the snap and beat the blocks, and causing all sorts of disruption at the line of scrimmage for Villanova.
David Abbott back into the game to the right here of Watkins. From the gun. Moving to his right. Here comes some extra pressure. Sideline throw. It will be ruled as a catch. A great job of working the sideline from Devin Smith.
That's a heck of a job by Devin Smith, showing awareness to keep his feet firmly planted on the ground, just allow his body to dive back forward to make the catch.
There's Mark Ferrante, the Villanova head coach. His 8th year as the head man after decades as an assistant.
Just great ball and spatial awareness right there by the receiver.
1st and 10 from the 11. Abbott, head down to the 6. Looks at 2nd and 5.
Great answer on this drive here for Villanova as we take it on the other side. It's a long walk to the opposite end of the field.
Wildcats going to be okay, having that be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Which means we've got 15 minutes left of football here on Monmouth's final home game of the season. We're back after this.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
Whoever said that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line never said anything about the quality of the ride. With Coach USA, you can charter a luxury motor coach for all of your special occasions. From your wedding day to corporate events, sightseeing, trips to the casino, sporting events, and concerts. Enjoy free amenities on board, things like Wi-Fi, restrooms, and movies. So to book your charter anywhere in the US or Canada, just contact our sales office today.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
33-17 heading into the 4th quarter. Monmouth trying to pull what would be a sizable upset at the FCS level. Villanova, top 10 team in both the media and coaches poll going into this week, trying to keep alive chances of getting an auto bid out of the CAA, which would almost assuredly give them a bye in the opening round of the upcoming FCS playoffs. 33-17. We come back with a 2nd down and 5 for Connor Watkins and the Villanova offense. Quick throw, fade pattern, and it will be out of bounds. Intended target was Kopecky. Izzy Clark-White on the coverage. You almost have to go for it here, right?
You have to go for it, and you also have to have your best 2-point conversion play ready to go, because you're going to have to go for 2 now that we're in the 4th quarter. Can't play the possession games now because you didn't score in the 3rd stanza. So now you have to be a little bit more aggressive if you're Villanova.
Monmouth was able to get a stand in this direction in the 1st half. On 4th, a check at 3rd and 5. Watkins running towards the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown.
Watkins' legs has been the difference maker, I feel like, for this offense against the Hawks defense. This is something that they hadn't really sort of been able to contain. Once he sees it's covered in passing game, he's going to take off and run, make a move, and just get to goal line, and he's been a finisher in terms of running the ball. He is not looking to slide. He is looking to fall forward. That helped him out right there as he got across the goal line for 6, and they're going for 2.
2-point play here will at least line up with Abbott and Watkins in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, which is the wide side of the field, and 2 back to the left, the short side of the field.
I'm running with Watkins again. Use Abbott as a lead blocker here. You got the numbers.
Looks like he just got in before his knee touched. Watkins will run it again and will get in for the touchdown. Watkins the score. Watkins the 2-point conversion.
That was just easy football right there. You count the amount of defenders in the box. You have the advantage as the quarterback because you're unaccounted for. Use your back as a lead blocker. It was just a straight quarterback draw, like they called it. Waltzes into the end zone.
Make it 33-25. It's a 1-possession game. Good drive from Villanova. They put together a couple of these long drives today. 10 plays, 75 yards, over 5 minutes. Connor Watkins finishing it off with a rushing touchdown from 6 yards out, his 2nd of the day.
The asterisk here is the 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer that aided this drive to continue, because that would have been a 3rd and long situation for Villanova. But this is what you want to see. It's not about the amount of plays right now. It's the time. 5 minutes to get down the field, score a touchdown, and get the 2-point conversion is crucial here now as we're in the 4th quarter.
End over end kick. Spate sees it out of the back of the end zone.
So now the onus is on Monmouth to not only score, but try to shrink this game even more so to make it tougher for Villanova. Villanova wants to run their balanced offense. They don't want to get out there and try to throw the football more than they want to. That's not their game. So if you're Monmouth, it'll be fascinating to see how they call this drive here. Combination of working the field and also working the clock.
Robertson back on. He'll start with Makai Green in the backfield. Reverse setup. Villanova read it, but Derry able to run away from it. At least the initial stop. And get something out of nothing. Initial pressure from Turner Inge, the linebacker.
It's a great job by Josh Derry, just beating the defender in the backfield. Would have been a huge TFL and able to turn that into a 2 or 3 yard gain for the Hawks.
2nd and 7 for Robertson. Monmouth will work into the wind in this 4th quarter. In the flat, Green catches it. He's a dangerous open field guy. Cannot get to the yard marker, but it looks like there's going to be 15 yards tacked on to the end of that.
I don't know how that's a penalty. It's not the defender's fault that Makai Green is 150 pounds soaking wet. That's just gravity. That's not a penalty.
Officials are talking about
After
it.
the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Emery would agree with you before we take a look at the replay. I would have thought the same thing. It's a Ty Trin. Oh, okay, right there.
I guess because it was in the white. It started in bounds, but it kind of...
Well, it's the whip around here at the end. So let's say out of bounds and then that.
Tomato, tomato. Splitting hairs.
Gets Monmouth 15 extra yards and moves them out towards midfield, of which they will creep into Villanova territory on that run from Makai Green.
All things considered, to your point, it's the unnecessary part that they weighed heavily on, because you didn't have to sling them after you crossed over into the white. So I agree with you, but I just don't like it.
As with most things, I say. 2nd and 8. 13:25 remaining, fourth quarter. One score game. Monmouth trying to change that. Seen a lot in this sequence of the Hawk ground game and Makai Green. And on cue, Rodney Nelson will check in with TJ Spate. It's now a 3rd and 7.
Monmouth has shown the ability to throw into the wind, so there's no issues with their passing game here. So you don't want to just assume it's going to be something short like a screen or some shallow cross. They will try to attack the sticks here on his 3rd and 7.
Robertson from the shotgun, hanging in the pocket, looking over the middle. Looks like the catch was made cleanly by Spate, but he's going to be clearly shy of the first down. Only got to the 45-yard line, needed to get to the 41.
Man, talk about a contested catch. He was being written by the defender. He had him lockstep and was attached to the receiver. He didn't break stride. So gonna see right here on the replay coming right into your screen. He was all over the receiver, but good job by Spate to hold on to it.
Monmouth lining up to go for it here on 4th and 4. This would keep the offense on, continue to kill the clock. To the sideline, Spate the catch, and will step out of bounds. That's a big throw from Derek Robertson. I'll tell you why. The wind is going in that direction, so you almost have to take something off of it so it doesn't go past Spate.
And you saw Spate have to adjust to the ball coming to the wide side of the field. So to your point, partner, he had to take something off of it and allowed Mother Nature to carry that ball through. And good job by Spate making that adjustment, showing trust in your offense, staying out there in a crucial situation on 4th down.
That's a huge 4th down conversion. Monmouth at 64% on the season on 4th downs. Pressure coming. Robertson sees it. He's got Neary open inside the 10. Goes one of the better tight ends at the FCS level. He'll take it inside the 2. 1st and goal to go.
Great touch throw right there by Robinson. In between the corner and safety, he just dropped it right into the bucket. Nice teardrop for a huge gain out there inside the 5-yard line, keeping Nelson out on the field as they go tempo.
Pulled back to about the 3. Nelson wrapped up at the 3-yard line.
Watch this throw here by Robinson, putting just enough arc underneath it so where his tight end Jack Neary could run without breaking stride to haul in that reception. Now you saw Sonny Ento trot it to the ball game, and everyone in the stadium knows what's about to happen. He's about to get the football here and see how well he can work himself down. It's a wildcat situation as you saw Robinson sprint out to the far right side of the field.
Which touchdown for Ento would be a record setter if he can get it. He is stopped at the 1.
The referee didn't want to see greatness. I thought he got it.
3rd and less than a yard.
That's a touchdown. He ruined your potential call. You would have had a record-breaking call.
I would get, my bet here is that he'll get it again. 3rd and goal from the 1. Sonny Ento looking for another rushing touchdown to set a Monmouth record. Ento, he will get it this time. No doubt about it. He is your single season touchdown rushing leader for Monmouth. A flag came in late. I think it's going to be obviously after the touchdown will be counted and scored. The 23rd rushing touchdown of the season for Sonny Ento.
After the play, personal foul, hands to the face, defense. A 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown is good.
And probably more importantly for Monmouth, it makes it a two-possession game.
It goes right back to being a two-possession game, and you see the power and strength of Soniento just running right back to it. It's funny because everyone knows you're getting the football. Everyone knows the play call, and you still can't stop it. That's just impressive.
Calton for the extra point. Kicked up and through. That's a big extra point as well because it makes it a 15-point advantage rather than 14. We'll come back on the other side of this break, see what Villanova can do to answer. That's probably the happiest broadcast room anywhere right now in the United States. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they're listening to the czar of the playbook. I mean, there's no other explanation for that. They're all laughing because they know in reality that's a really good joke that was just told.
I'm pretty sure that's AI because they've been sitting in the same spots every time I've been doing these broadcasts. Like, that's not real people. Like 7 fingers on some of these hands. I've seen it.
Matt Harmon, Emery Hunt along the way and enjoying this one with you. Hope you are as well. 9:31 to go in the fourth quarter. Monmouth up 40-25. Another rushing touchdown for Soniento, his 23rd of the year.
I don't care how you get him. 23 touchdowns is impressive. And if he's not in Frisco, Texas for the Walter Payton Award, we ride at dawn.
With that unnecessary roughness penalty, Monmouth plus 15. Rhea kicks it to the 10. And the grab and go return from Ethan Potter. He's run out around the 20-yard line. You know, Emery, I'm struck by this because so much attention on the Monmouth offense. Number 1 in the CAA, yards per game, points per game. But the last 3 games, the loss at Towson, they scored 14. Loss at URI, they scored 28. Lost last week at UNH, they scored 20. This was a week that I'm sure the offense was maybe getting a little tired of. Where has the offense gone?
Right, because we've seen an offense that has looked like the offense we saw earlier in the year when they were averaging 35, 40 points a game.
1st and 10, dump down over the middle. Catch made by Chris Colby, who's got his 3rd today.
And it's interesting because watching this offense, you're not surprised at what they've done today because this is what you kind of expected Monmouth's offense to look like against anybody.
1st and 10 at the Nova 33. Far side throw will be caught, but Lopes had to go to the ground to grab it. Short gain of about 4.
Villanova's defense has been put to the test today by this offense of Monmouth, and it puts their offense in a unique situation when they have to continue to throw like this to come back.
2nd and 10 in the flat. Intended target was Ragland, who cannot hang on to it.
And the game is not over. It's a lot of football left to be played, but man, you start to think a little bit further up the road in terms of potential playoff opponents they'll play and who can put strain on their offense, on their defense like Monmouth can. And one team that comes to mind is an incarnate word by how well they throw the football. Some things to work out for Villanova.
3rd and 6. The flip that time works. It will get the Wildcats a first down. Grabbed by Kopecky.
Watkins has been trying to get this flip off for at least 2 quarters now. He finally was able to connect it, so we don't have to see it again. This time the receiver understood the assignment, just kind of stayed flat-footed where he was, firm where he was, and allowed Watkins to get him the football.
Coming up on 8 remaining. Watkins to the sideline. Kopecky, another catch.
That might have been the best throw of the day for Watkins because of the blitz that was coming. He stood tall in the pocket and fired an anticipatory dart to the receiver that got there as he turned around for the football, showing he can throw with velocity and anticipation.
I mean, Watkins overall today has exceeded the season average of passing yards. He's close to 200. It's usually 150. That one into a spot no one was. Actually, he's over now 200. Make it 206 with that last catch by Kopecky. 18 of 26.
What's interesting is that as we're watching this game, and maybe we're talking about this defense for Villanova giving up all these points, maybe we learned something about this offense of Villanova. Maybe they can expand their offense as they move forward and throw the football to balance out their offense, because I think this offense has a potential for balance based off what we've seen from these receivers and Watkins throwing the ball.
On 2nd and 10. Hit as he throws it, but still able to get it to his receiver. Colby, who's become a good target today, down the field at the 30-yard line, gain of 12, first down.
Think about it. We talked about Jalen Sanchez on 3rd down earlier in the first half, and we're seeing Colby now consistently find himself open and grow up right in front of our eyes. This is a freshman at 6'3", 210, has the size to win outside and has the strength to win on the inside as well. So, again, this offense probably can be expanded moving forward.
Watkins again hit as he throws. This time the pressure applied by Chris King.
So this is going to be a fascinating team to follow, because if they can bring this type of offensive balance with their passing game and how they can run the football to go along with a defense that will obviously be improved, this is probably one of the more anomalies that we'll see on their schedule in terms of the yards and the amount of big plays they've given up. So maybe Villanova can consistently get better and be a different team heading into the postseason.
2nd and 10. Watkins in the pocket, goes down the seam, looking incomplete, and a flag coming. Schulter's the former member of Villanova, tangled up with Colby.
I felt like that was maybe a little bit uncatchable.
Pass interference, defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
As you had 3 guys going for the football, the receiver and 2 defenders, and the ball seemed as though it was up for grabs and kind of went left of all 3 guys. Maybe we'll see why.
No, right there.
Yeah, just as much as a right to go for the football, but early contact, I get it. Yeah, I can see where he got there a little bit early.
Keeps Villanova in business. Watkins again down the seam. This time will overthrow Luke Daly.
More so than the defense that they're facing, the time is starting to slowly work against Villanova. They have to really not continue to waste time getting into the end zone, because they haven't shown the ability to slow down Monmouth on offense yet.
Quarterback draw for Watkins. Started forward, then changed direction. And as he did, he ran into the talented linebacker Demir McCrary, who will make the stop.
Monmouth may not be big in terms of size in the front seven, but they make up for it by having a lot of quickness and athleticism. Guys that can go sideline to sideline. They can also take some of these chances of slicing through blocks and crossing the face of linemen to get in on tackles at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Make it 3rd and 12. Watkins looks left, throws left. Up and through the hands of Lopes.
Feel like he had to put that on Lopes, and that ball took a long time to get to him, which allowed the defender to get back into the play. There was no pressure there, so the ball came out a little bit funky out of Watkins' hands. I felt like he should have drilled that ball and would have given Lopes a chance to make a guy miss and perhaps score.
Brings up a 4th and 12. Nova forced to go for it. This could decide whether this game really continues. It will. Big throw in the middle. Somehow Devin Smith wide open at the goal line.
It's a great job right there by Connor Watkins, just staying strong in the pocket, staying patient, waiting for his receiver, Devin Smith, to clear, and got him the football. Nice touch throw over the middle. You can see right here just staring it down, but waiting for him to clear that defender. He did. Open passing window. Touchdown Villanova.
That a huge play because it opens up the remainder of this ball game.
Right, it keeps the game rolling, because if not, then you're talking about Monmouth perhaps taking the air out of the football in their upcoming drive, which they still might try to do, but this two-point conversion makes it all more important as well.
Watkins, quarterback draw in one more time. That will cut it to 7.
So now you got a true one-possession game with no two-point conversion on the back end of it. Good job. Once again, same play call they ran the last time on the two-point conversion. QB draw, because you have the numbers, and seems like Monmouth forgot that Watkins is a mobile guy that is a +1 in the run game. Big-time drive here. And again, once again, 3:25 possession, but the asterisk on the same as the last drive, aided by a 15-yard penalty by Monmouth. This one was a pass interference. The previous series was the unnecessary roughness to roughing the quarterback that kept their drive alive. But good job by Watkins, staying strong in the pocket, patient, and hitting his receiver, Devin Smith, for a score, and then coming back and getting the two-point conversion. Now this is a big-time drive for Monmouth, because Villanova is only down 7, 6 minutes left. Can Monmouth go into a 4-minute offense to, at worst, flip the field position and shrink the ball game and put the pressure back on Villanova's offense to score?
On to kickoff is Getman. Over the top of Mackay Green and out of the back of the end zone, and on will come the league's top offense.
Now you start to talk about situational football. What play calls will be called? What types of run plays will be ran? How aggressive will they be throwing the football? Will they just continue to be the Monmouth offense, or will things change here and try to play the situation a little bit tighter?
Robertson to work from the 25-yard line. Spate, the push pass. Villanova read that perfectly.
This was the opening play of the game, and they read that play perfectly, and they try to come back to it, catch those guys napping. But now you have a motivated Villanova defensive front that was able to reset the line of scrimmage and make that play behind the line of scrimmage. It's a 5-yard loss. You saw nothing but white jerseys kind of reset that line against Monmouth.
Second and long, and the give up the middle won't do much for Monmouth.
Villanova is playing with a little bit more fight right now in terms of how they're getting off the football, how they're getting off blocks. Huge third down here for the Monmouth offense. And they're taking their time, trying to get the right play call in. But if you're Villanova, this is the game for you.
3rd and 12. Monmouth will put the game in the hands of Derek Robertson, the quarterback. Change that. There goes Rodney Nelson on point. Who would have thought a quick play up the middle would be what gets Monmouth out of danger?
This is why Jeff Gallo gets paid the big bucks he does, because you zig when everybody is zagging. Everyone in the stadium, including us, thought this was going to be a throw. They ran inside. They had a light box, so you had the advantage of getting your lineman to the 2nd level, and in some cases the 3rd level. And Nelson, with his quickness and acceleration, got the first down.
Gives Monmouth a new lease on life to work the clock, which is now inside of 4 minutes, and potentially make it a 2-possession game again. Robertson will motion Spate. It's Rodney Nelson time here for the Hawks, down to the 44-yard line.
Now if you're Coach Ferrante, you start to think about, when do I call the timeout? Now it's 2nd and about 6. So if they get a stop here, you can expect them to quickly get that timeout call, because you still have the 2-minute timeout in your back pocket as well. But Monmouth is doing a great job of working this clock and forcing them to make that decision, and will probably get this playoff under 3 minutes.
There's 15 on the play clock and 15 on the game clock, so the ball will get snapped, it should be, right at the 3-minute mark. Left hash. Nelson able to get forward for 1.5 yards.
So 3rd and a little bit over 5. Monmouth will try to take this down to at least 220. And now, because you ran it on 3rd and 15, it puts the defense to say, hey, we got to now key in on a run, so you might get an advantageous matchup in the passing game. Or do you put the ball on the ground to force him to go to the 2-minute timeout? So there's a lot of factors here involved in what the play call is on this 3rd and a very important 5 yards.
So Nyanto has come back into the game. 3rd and 5. Robertson will give it to Ento. Breaking a tackle. First down, Monmouth. That might be the ball game. So on 2 crucial 3rd down plays, Monmouth going the less traditional route of put it on the ground. Nelson did it once. Ento did it that time.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
It's about players, not plays. And they did a great job in recognizing that the players are the most important in this situation. So game on the line, they went with Sony Ento to get the first down. He did. Now we're back on the other side with the conclusion of Monmouth versus Villanova.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Greatness never settles. That's why the Monmouth University Hawks drive World Subaru, the #1 Subaru retailer at all of Central and South Jersey. Visit World Subaru today, proud sponsor of the Monmouth University Hawks, or online at worldsubaru.com. Go Hawks!
I'm the director of the Cancer Center, designated by the National Cancer Institute.
We are here to make an important distinction.
There are cancer centers.
And there are NCI-designated cancer centers.
Recognized for world-class research
and positive impact on their communities.
No single person is going to cure cancer.
It'll take a team effort.
That's what an NCI-designated cancer center is all about. In New Jersey, there's only one. Rutgers Cancer Institute in New Jersey, together with RWJ Barnabas Health.
Exactly 2 minutes to go here. This is what's coming up for you on games down the line. November 26th, women's basketball against St. Peter's. And December 1st, women's basketball at home against Lafayette. That crossover between the fall season and the winter season now in full swing. In full swing here, another upset victory for Monmouth over Villanova. The teams have played, including today, 3 times. Monmouth trying to go 3-0.
Seems like they just match up well versus Villanova. A lot of the philosophies are the same. Still 2 minutes left, 2 timeouts for Villanova. We'll see how they handle this situation. But it starts on first down defensively for the Wildcats.
Robertson handing off to Ento. Gain of about 3. Villanova will use a timeout. They'll have one more opportunity to stop the clock.
Timeout, Villanova.
Whenever you're just
for
doing the
half.
math
30
at this
seconds.
point.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 55 seconds. 1:55.
And put
Thank
5
you.
seconds back on the clock. So you run it on second down. Say you take off another 5 seconds. That gets you to 150. You can stop it one more time. And then on third down, you probably run it again. And then just from a standpoint of where the game is at, right? I mean, if Villanova was to get the football back, they're not going to have it with more than 45 seconds maybe remaining.
Right, so now you look at your passing game if you're Villanova. That's what got them back in the ball game. Connor Watkins running the football as well, being a +1, but the pace will have to pick up. Can you be explosive enough versus a Monmouth defense that now knows you have to throw the football to get into a position to score a touchdown? So it's a tricky situation, but they have to do something they hadn't done all game long, which is be a little bit more efficient and explosive in their passing game.
2nd and 7. Ento is going to get wrapped up in the backfield. That's exactly what Villanova needed to have happen. A quick stop in the backfield for less than positive yards.
And now you have the quick timeout. You think about Monmouth running the football here or whatever play they're going to run, it has to continue to keep that clock moving. And just a great job in blowing this up by Villanova.
Villanova.
When unblocked in the backfield was number 97.
Please reset
Chuck
the game
Smith,
clock to 1 minute.
who made that play. Now it puts the onus on Monmouth to have a play call here that can get you at least 5 yards, but also take off some time on the clock, because you feel as though with it being 3rd and 11, like you said, average play is about 3 to 5 seconds. Can Monmouth get this one under a minute with the 4th down play included and put the onus back on Villanova to drive the length of the field?
Clearly, if Monmouth gets a first down here, the game's over.
The game's over, because now there's no way for Villanova to stop the clock.
Best case scenario for the Wildcats is you hold here on 3rd down. You get the football back probably about 45 seconds remaining.
You got to hold quickly here on 3rd down.
Ento is in the Wildcat. He will get it. He will run right.
So that play took about 4 seconds. Because
I don't think the clock moved on that play, to be honest with you. When the ball was snapped, the clock did not run.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 38 seconds.
There you go.
There you go.
1:38.
So now it goes to what we
And
talked
it will
about,
run
getting
on my
close
signal.
to the 1 minute mark, because they're going to have to also reset the play clock to 40 seconds and not 25.
Monmouth just going to run the clock.
They want that play clock bumped up to 40. It went straight to 25.
I think Kevin Callahan looking for an exclamation to that.
Timeout, Monmouth. First of the half, 30 seconds.
He's going to come out and look for that exclamation. Explain it.
Yeah, that
it doesn't make sense,
doesn't
right?
make sense because if you had to run the play clock, I'm sorry, the game clock, the play clock automatically should have reset to 40. Because that was the whole strategy. This game clock should be at least at 105.
He just explained his case to the field judge, who is now going to go over and take it to the referee. It's 4th down and 6. And I'm not sure if the words that are coming back are satisfactory or not. They don't look like it.
And you leave your offense on the field because you don't want to run the risk of getting the field goal blocked or missing the field and putting them in a situation. We may see another pooch punt here.
Well, I think, don't you just me, don't you try and get the first down?
Well, you do, but
instead of pooch punt it?
Now you're putting the team 69 yards away as opposed to potentially 80 yards away.
We'll see what Robertson does here on 4th down. He's going to try and throw it. He's going to look for TJ Spate, who's got it! Just outside the goal line. That's going to seal it, barring a miracle for Monmouth.
What a phenomenal throw and catch by TJ Spate and Derek Robertson. Robertson makes the dart throw.
Please reset
Spate
the game
makes
clock
the
to 1
game-winning
minute,
reception
4 seconds.
in a tightly
1-0-4.
contested
Thank you.
pass. Robertson went for the gusto. Spate paid it forward, beat the tight coverage, hand in his face, and hauls in the game winner over strong safety Ty Trent. Just a phenomenal job of going up and getting it. I would even say it was a touchdown.
And quite honestly, another great play call.
Exactly. Aggressive, right in the right situation, being aggressive. Fantastic game for Jeff Gallo, the offensive coordinator.
Monmouth will go victory formation. Robertson will take a knee. Hawks will not have to snap it again. They beat FBS Florida International earlier in the year. Did Monmouth 45-42. This game might be as big as that one just because you want to have some momentum going into the offseason.
Especially considering this is a top 5 FCS opponent in the country. You beat a top 5 team, so this is another one of these big-time upsets. So if you're Monmouth, you've done a lot this year to be proud of. Yes, the record is still 5-6, but man, at the end of the day, you got to be proud of what you were able to do out here on the field against Villanova.
Hawks will win this one 40-33. They will finish their season up next week at Stony Brook. Today, the final home game of the year for the Hawks. 502 yards of total offense.